My first time trying the edible, and it went horribly. Very horribly. I
literally almost died.
I almost died, like literally. What's up, you guys? It's your boy Maj, Big Maj, not the little one, and I am back with another YouTube video. So as you see by the title and the description down below, today's video is going to be a story time on my first time trying an edible. Ooh. I had to go to the hospital and everything. Like, it was crazy. I was rushed to the hospital. It was crazy. So without further ado, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you go ahead and follow me on my social medias at Thesemajlewis. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Right, so it is currently 8:53, Tuesday, February 13th. I am filming this today, you guys. So this story time takes place back in 2019, I believe. I was working at McDonald's. Yes, this took place at my job. Yeah. And no, I didn't get fired. For the ones that's I know gonna ask. No, I didn't get fired. No. But yes, ended up happening at the job. So like I said, this story takes place back in 2019. It was me and two of my other friends at the time. You know, well, they came to me with the idea saying like do you want to get him or whatever? And I was like, sure, why not? Like, you know, hey, whatever, cool, why not? We only live once. YOLO, you only live once. So when they came and picked me up, they was discussing, like, asking like who we gonna get it from. So the one girl that came and picked us up, we was gonna get it from her people's, but they wasn't answering, so they ended up asking me like if I know anybody, and I did know somebody, so we ended up going through my people's. So we ended up getting them. I think it took a little bit for us to get them though, because one of my other friends had to go get them because she was on break. So she was just like, well, let me just go get them since I'm already on break. So she went to go get them. She came back, she gave it to us, and we basically took them. Mind you, I told y'all we at work, like we're literally at the job, like working. So I take half. I told them to take half and do not to take the whole thing. These girls decide to take the whole thing. So they took the whole thing. Mind y'all, I'm in the back booth. I'm taking the cash and I'm also taking the orders on the headset. So I go like the pickup, seeing like how they doing or whatever. So I go up there to go see what's going on. And these two, like, it wasn't as bad at first. But they was like a little bent over, you know, over the thing that we had that you can lean over. You know, like it's some little things that you could that we set our food on that passed out the window. It's like this little thing that you can set stuff on. So they was leaning over that, and then the other one was running, so she was leaning over the running area, leaning over that. So everything was cool. I ended up going back to my station because nothing was going on at that time. Like, it didn't really start kicking in yet. I think I ended up taking the rest of it because I didn't feel nothing. Like, I wasn't feeling what they was feeling. So I ended up taking the rest of it, and then that's when I feel like as soon as I took that last piece, that's when it started like kicking in or whatever. So mind y'all, like, it's like this sudden rush of like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like, you know, when something like, obviously like something's not wrong, but just like something's like not right or something, you know what I'm saying? So like, it was like this rush of like a feeling like throughout my body. Like, I started like feeling up my body. It started like from my toes, and it just creeped its way up all the way up to my body, to the rest of my body. So I'm starting to feel it, and mind you, I'm on the phone with my best friend at the time. I was on the phone with her, and she was experiencing this with me. We was just laughing. She said I was just talking, laughing. She said I was talking her head off, basically. But yeah, so I ended up started feeling it. So I guess the feeling ended up getting like too much. So me and the two girls ended up going to go sit down. Mind you, it's only 5 of us there. It's 2 managers and it's us 3. Me in the back and then them 2. One is running and one is passing out the orders out the window. So it's only 5 of us in there. So when we all sat down, but mind you, the other 2, they already sat down before I did. I just sat down coming afterwards because, like I said, I ended up eating the rest of it, and they ended up taking the whole thing. So that's why I was kind of late until sitting down or whatever. So I ended up going to go sit down because it was like a lot. Like, I was like woozy and like I was, you know, feeling high. Like you would feel high. So I go sit down, with them. I'd say maybe like 30 minutes went by. Went back up there, and their eyes was red. They up here drinking the milk. Mind you, they not even paying for the milk. Like, we have to pay for the milk. So, like, they not even paying for the milk. They just slurping, gurping down the milk. We all just high as I don't know what. Like, we all high. So, tell me why one of the girls, she called her grandmother on the phone, right? She calls her on the phone. And she's telling her, like,
oh my God, like, I don't feel good. Like, I think I might want you to, I might need you to come get me. Because I'm not feeling good. Like, I don't know what's going on.
So, I think the way that she was explaining it was making it seem like she didn't know what she took. So that's why what I'm about to tell y'all happened because of that. So yeah, so she calls her grandmother, and her grandmother comes up to the place. Y'all, it went down as soon as she she came through them doors. It went down. Like, she comes in on 10 yelling like, why you on this? What you on? What you doing? Who gave you this? Who gave you that? She picking her up. She throwing her all around the McDonald's in the chair. She picking her up, swinging her. She throwing her. Cause mind you, I guess the girl couldn't really stand up because, like I said, she's in that state, and she was a little tiny girl too. So I feel like it hit her more because she was like tinier than me or the other girl. Like, she was real tiny. So I think that's why it was like that for her. So yeah, so she doing all that. So the girl ended up pointing at me, and so her grandmother ended up throwing her keys at me because she like, why would you give her this? But I'm like, I didn't even give it to her. First of all, they came to me with the idea. So this is not my fault. They came to me with the idea. I didn't come with them to the idea. I was gonna go to work and go about my day. But they wanted, they was like, well, do you want to go get something? I was like, okay, cool, why not? So the grandma threw her keys at me, and then she started yelling in my face, saying like, why would you give it to her, or who you get it from, and all this and all that. And I'm like, first of all, I didn't even get it from me. I got it from, the girl, whatever. So I ended up calling the girl, who we got it from, and asking her like, how many milligrams was in there or whatever. And then the grandmother took my phone, and she started cussing out the girl, talking about something, come up to McDonald's, I want to fight, come up to McDonald's, why would you give this stuff to these children, and all this, all that. It was a lot. So I remember faintly, I don't remember too much, but I remember faintly that my manager had my phone to call my parents to let them know like what was going on, whatever, so they can meet us at the hospital. So the police comes, y'all. Oh, mind y'all, I had 2 edibles, y'all. I had 2. Remember, I told y'all in the beginning I had 2. So when I heard cops was coming, girl, I heard but took that edible out of my pocket, and I stuck it underneath the chair that I was sitting on, because obviously, like, if they found it on me, girl, I was going to jail. Like, I was going to get locked up, and they weren't going to let me out.
I'm locked up, they won't let me out.
Like, they was not going to let me out. Like, so to prevent that, I just ended up putting it under the chair. And then, so they, asking the questions that cops ask you. What's your name? Do you know where you're at? Where do you live? That type stuff. What they ask you when you're, whatever. Just to make sure you know who you are and where you're at and stuff like that. So I'm answering them questions, telling them my name is Semaj. I'm telling them where I live. I'm telling them I know I'm at McDonald's at work. So they get the stretcher, because I guess I couldn't walk. So they end up getting a stretcher to put me on. And they had strapped me down to it and stuff. And then I remember just getting carried out into the ambulance truck. And then my friend, one of the girls, so remember I told you it was 3 of us. So one of the girls she ended up calling her friend, and she ended up coming to get her. So she didn't go to the hospital. It was just me and the other girl, the little skinny girl that was there with me, me and her ended up going to the hospital. So me and her go to the hospital. All I remember was, we get to the hospital, and they, at that time it was COVID, so they was checking for temperatures and stuff before you go inside the hospital. They said my temperature was like high, so they thought I had COVID, so they had put a mask on me because they thought I had COVID, but I really didn't. It was just, I guess it was because I was high, so I guess the body temperature was just off. So I think that was why, because I wasn't sick or nothing. So yeah, so then we get there, they do that, I end up going to the room, they check us in. Honestly, I don't remember nothing from that point on. I think I remember like little stuff. I remember they obviously put you on IV to flush out the stuff out your system. I remember my mom coming. She was I remember her like praying over me on the bed, because she was scared. Because like I said, she didn't know like what was exactly going on. She thought that somebody slipped me something and I didn't know, like I didn't know what I took, but the whole time I didn't know what I took. So I think I was 16 too, y'all. I think I was around like 16 or 15, one of the two. So yeah, so we got there. She was praying over me and stuff because she was scared, like I said, because she didn't know what was going on. Once the stuff did like start to flush out my system, I remember taking a nap, like I went to sleep. But once the stuff did flush out my system, I ended up going. Oh yeah, they was asking me like, you know, like, did you know like what it was or what it was or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I knew what it was. And then that was basically it. I ended up going home. The skinny girl ended up staying there. She ended up staying there for a while because I think she was still asleep. With her grandmother, and her grandmother came there. Y'all, it might seem all dragged out, but well, no, it was dragged out. Like, I mean, the story time might be seeming short because it was really like on a time span. Like it was like stretched out. Like it was like, I don't know, if that's what it felt like. It felt like it was in slow motion. Everything was just woozy. Like I don't know. I'm gonna try to put a clip on like how I felt in here. So I can give y'all a visual of how I felt. But yeah, that was basically it, y'all. Thank you for watching. Today's story was basically my first time trying to edible, and it went horribly. Very horribly. I
literally almost died. Like,
I almost died, like literally. Don't do drugs, kids. Oh, disclaimer. I do not condone in drugs. I do not condone in drug use, drug abuse. None of the above. Kids, do not do drugs. If you're underage, do not do drugs, kids. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all my social medias at Thesemajlewis. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye!
I know you got all dressed up for